600 men died based off of one man's ego, one man's actions. 600 men died based off of their own selfish needs, their own selfish ways. But they let one man guide them, lead them to hell. Hi, I'm Shay Shay. I'm your mystery school guide to life on the planet Earth. Stay tuned. You see, what the movie really failed to show, they only gave you a glimpse, was that those men were raping, beating, killing. Those women, they were sold as sex slaves and property. They were looting. Every animal that they touched, they oft killed, did unimaginable things to. Those temples that you seen, they destroyed all the sacred temples. And that's why I told you in my previous video, when they cut the head of Athena, that was the beginning of the end for man. Okay? So those men weren't innocent in the Odyssey. None of them was. Odysseus wasn't innocent either. So let me explain. 10 years of the war, you finally got what you wanted. After all the damages that you done to all these people in their community. 10 years of that, only to go through another 10 years of more hell based off your own actions and your ways. You see, those men went to several islands. I know in the book it was about 12, but based off the movie, we got to about like 4 or 5. There's so many islands. There's no way that you can get through that in a movie. So we'll talk about the Cyclops, Circe, the underworld, and then when he got to the beach, Calypso. Odysseus received so many prophecies that his men would die, but he withheld that information based off his ego, pumping his chest thinking that he was bigger than the program. But it wasn't until the men, after they done got through a few islands, got their ass beat a little bit, tossed around, eaten, dragged through the mud, devoured by the water, where it was like, maybe Odysseus really isn't that guy that we think he is. See, that's the problem with man. You think you was going to get away from what you did to the people? You think you was really going to get away with that shit? And then when they go to the Cyclops, that baby, and when he asked him what his name was, and he originally said nobody, but when he shot the bow and arrow, finally ran away, done messed up everything, they got on the boat, and then he was like, oh, never mind, I'm Big Disses, I'm Big OD. Good, you're cursed. My daddy gonna make sure I curse. Yeah, Poseidon, he got me, okay? Circe was already tired of man. But remember, one thing that man was scared of was them witches. Because women knew everything. Women were the original people of the planet before man came. She knew all the magic, but they called her a witch. Because she can turn y'all into pigs, back to who she know y'all originally are. You got it. And when Odysseus begged her to turn those men back into humans, their cloaking form, that's when she gave him the prophecy. She was like, yeah, these motherfuckers, they not gonna make it. They not gonna make it. Then when she gave him the juju to go to the underworld to sacrifice the lamb, right? And he seen all those men that died under his leadership in the underworld. And it wasn't until all those men lied in Hades where they had to think about their actions on the physical plane. It's like, damn, I really done lost my life based off of one man's actions and of my own. I told you who I am. I told you who my past life is. I'm a mystery school guide, a teacher, but I'm also what you call the angel of death. I've sent people to the abyss. I've sent people to Hades. They all have to go think on their actions of what they've done on the physical plane. And when you got to Sinon was like, damn, I really died for you. I really died for you. And that Trojan horse, that place, and got shot with the bow and arrow, I died for you. And then when the man in the ground gave him the prophecy of what was going to happen, all those men came up from underground and started chasing the rest of the soldiers. They was mad as hell. It was like, damn, this man led me to hell. This man led me to hell. But also they needed to think about that. Maybe I also led my own self to hell. Yes, I followed one man, but have you ever thought to yourself, maybe you led your own self to hell by following his own actions? Odysseus did suffer. Yes, he did. He suffered. But he was like, damn, my man kind of fucking slow. Because I started thinking like, damn, the soldiers is kind of slow if you think about it. Because Odysseus' right-hand man, even when he knew, was like, man, maybe we shouldn't have gone to this island. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should head out, what was it, west? And this was like, yeah, no. What did he say? He was like, I think we should hug the coast. What? Even when they knew Odysseus was not in his right state of mind, they still followed one man. It was 600 y'all. Even if it was 100 y'all left, y'all still followed one man. Come on now. Come on. Y'all could have off them and went on about yourself and made it back to Ithaca. But no, when that man told you, oh, when you get onto that island with the cattle, don't eat the sacred cattle. Promise to eat the fruits and berries and all the supplies that's basically there on that island. Eat that, but don't touch the cow. Odysseus didn't find him in a damn hole. What was that, a sinkhole? They done started a fire and made ribs and shit off the cattle. My cattle is sacred, but you couldn't hold back your urges because you were so hungry. You done ate up everything on the damn island. And Odysseus, by that time, he was like, damn, my man really is slow. Okay? Remember when his right-hand man, he said, I'd rather eat and be full and drown later on. And then when the winds was finally favorable to them, that was the worst scene in the world, because I seen that when it was 40X. That was the worst scene. All of them drowned. You was really that hungry? You was really that hungry? So yeah, based off of all those places that they went in the war, they had fun for that first 10 years. Looting, beating, killing, getting drunk, partying, shaking it up a little bit. They had their fun. But you don't think spirit, you don't think the divine feminine ain't gonna get her get back? You think that the earth is not gonna make an example of you? Earth is still a schoolhouse. They still gonna show you why you was in the wrong. None of the men didn't see that till they were lying in rows in Hades. Yeah, you didn't see that. Only one man made it alive. And he had to lose his memory. He had to fall. He had to be poor. He had to become a beggar to understand that there's more than life than beating, killing people. There's more than life than having sex all day and eating all damn day. There's a lot to learn from the Odyssey. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a great book too as well. 600 men died based off their own ways and one man's ego. One man's ego led y'all to hell. God damn it. Genius.